Hello Year 4, it's Miss Lewis. Well done, you've made it to the end of the week. And here is Friday's maths lesson. Grab that pencil and paper, get your 5-minute timer and let's go with our Give Me 5, which today has a times table focus. Pause the video now and check back for the answers. Okay, so here we go with our times tables focus. 3 times 6. Okay, a way of doing this, if you're not sure, is by counting up your 3's on your fingers. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. 3 times 6 is 18. Next one, 5 times 7. Well, we can count up in 5s 7 times. Let's use our fingers to do that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 5 times 7 is 35. Ooh, let's see if we can count up in 8s for the next one. 8 times 7. Might be a little bit trickier, but let's do it together. 8, 16, 24, 32. After 32 is 40. After 40 we have 48, and after 48 we have 56. 8 times 7 is 56. These next ones we can't do using our times tables that we know straight away, so we have to use a column multiplication. 48 times 6. Okay, now we can use our times tables. 8 times 6, I know, is 48. So I write my 4 down there in the tens column and my 8's in the ones column in the answer box. And then I do 6 times 4, which is 24, but I need to add on this extra 4 down here. 24 add 4 is 28, which gives me an answer of 288. And the last one, we need to use our short multiplication again. 71 times 9. 9 times 71. Okay. 9 times 1 is 9. Super, we can just pop that straight into our answer box. 9 times 7, you can count up if you're not sure, or if you know the trick you can do on your fingers for the 9 times table, you can try that. 9 times 7, that's right, it's 63. So we have an answer of 639. Well done if you got any of those right, and well done for focusing on your times tables. Let's see what we're learning today. We have got some water here in some bottles and a cup. Might be a little bit tricky to see. This is going up in thirds. Okay, and this cup is 1/6. How many of these cups can we fill with 1 2/3 litres of water? How many cups, which fit 1/6 of a litre, can we fill with 1 2/3 litre of water? Have a look at the pictures. What can we see? How do we think we can work this out? Well, we know that we've got one whole bottle here. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, which is a whole. And then we've got 1/3, 2/3 here. So we know that we've got 1 2/3 litres of water in here. But this cup isn't measuring in thirds, it's measuring in 6ths. Let's have a look then. Using a number line can really help us. So on this number line, we have got 1 2/3. Our number line here between 0 and 1 is split into thirds. So we've got 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, which is 1. Okay, 1/3, 2/3, 1, 1 1/3, 1 2/3. This number line here, it's the same scale look, so still 1 and 2 are in the same place, but it's been split into sixths because that is the measurement that the cup has. Okay, 1/6 can fit in the cup, so we split it into sixths, and it's the same amount. It goes to the same place, but splitting it into sixths, we need to count those up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sixths. It's a bit strange, isn't it? We can say then 1 and 2/3 is the same as 10 sixths. Okay? They are equivalent, it's the same amount. Okay, a whole one, 6 sixths, and then we've got 2/3, which is 4 sixths. Okay, but 10 sixths written like this. So we can fill 10 of the 1/6 of a litre cups. This here is called an improper fraction. We get improper fractions when the numerator, which is the number on the top, is bigger than the denominator, which is the number on the bottom. So you can see here that 10, our top number, is a bigger number than 6. Improper fractions are always more than a whole. Okay, this number, if we were to do it using our circle pizzas, I'll quickly split those into sixths to help us. Okay, if we're writing this number, 10 sixths, we would shade all of these in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6. Okay, 10 6. So it's 1 and 4 sixths, which is 10 sixths. Okay, they're always more than a whole. Okay, they can also be called top heavy fractions because the number on the top is bigger than the number at the bottom. What if the cup had a capacity of 1/3 of a litre? Let's have a look at that then. So 1 is the same as 3/3 and 2/3 is the same as 2/3. Okay, when we pop that all together, 1 and 2/3 is the same as 5/3 because we're adding the 3/3 and the 2/3. 3 add 2 is 5, so we get 5/3. Okay, so this 10 sixths that we got before, we can simplify that down just like we were doing yesterday. Okay, 10 and 6, they're both in the 2 times table, so we divide them by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 10 sixths is the same as 5/3. Okay, 10 sixths is the same as 5/3. So if the cups were a third, could carry 1/3 of a litre, we could fill 5 of them. Let's have a look at another example then, just to help us understand this concept of improper fractions. Okay, here we have represented 1 1/2 here, and only 1/2 is shaded in. 1 and 1/2 is the same as 3 halves. 1/2, 2 halves, 3 halves. Our question here is asking how many quarters make up 1 1/2. Okay, so we split those halves down again into quarters. Let's count them up then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 1/2 is the same as 6 quarters, which can be written like this, 6/4. The number on the top is bigger than the number at the bottom, so it is an improper fraction. We can split that down even further. How many eighths make up 1 1/2? Okay, it's still the same number, it's still the same length, look, but we've just split it down even further. Let's count up how many eighths we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1½ is equal to 12 eighths, which can be written as a fraction like this. Okay, here we have them again without the number line. We've got 1 in the blue here. 3/2 can be written like this. 3/2. 6/4 can be written like this. 6/4, 6/4. 8, we're in eighths now, so 12 eighths is written like this. 12 eighths. And now we can simplify these down. 12 and 8 are both in the 4 times table. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we get 3/2. Again, we can see here 6 and 4 are both in the 2 times table. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6/4 is also the same as 3/2. 8/12 is the same as 6/4 is the same as 3/2. So 3/2 is the simplest form of this improper fraction. We can't get any lower. There isn't anything that 3 and 2, they're not in a times table together. Okay, that's our simplest form. Let's take a look at our guided practice. If you're confident enough to have a go at this by yourself, then go ahead and check that for the answers. If you want to work through this with me, then let's go. Okay, we've been asked to simplify this number here. Okay, let's count how many shapes we've got shaded in. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's 6 sixths a whole, and then 7, 8. We have got 8 sixths. Let's simplify that down. What times table are both 8 and 6 in? I'll give you time to think. Yeah, that's right, they're both in the 2 times table, so we're going to need to divide both of those numbers, both the top and the bottom, by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so when we simplify 8 sixths down, we get 4/3, and we can check this by splitting our whole into thirds, like this, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 thirds. A bit messy there. 8 sixths is the same as 4/3 when we simplify it down. Next one, we need to simplify this number. This one has been split into quarters, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 quarters. So 10 and 4, what times table are they both in? That's right, it's 2's again. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 4 divided by 2 is 8. 10 quarters is the same as... Ooh, hang on, I've made a mistake there. Did I divide by 2 here? No, I times by 2. 4 divided by 2 is not 8, it's 2. There we go. Trying to catch you out there. 10 quarters is the same as 5/2, which we can do by splitting our ones into halves instead. And we can see that we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 halves here. 10 quarters is the same as 5/2. Let's simplify these fractions then. 6 and 12, they are both in the 6 times table. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So 6/12 equals 1/2. 15 and 10 are both in the 5 times table. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 15/10 is the same as 3/2. Remember, this is an improper fraction because the top is bigger than the bottom. 18/8 we have here. 18/8. I know that they will both go into the 2 times table. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So our answer here, when we're simplifying 18/8, is 9/4. Remember, we don't say fourths, we say quarters. And the last one then, 9 and 7. 9 and 7. I can't think of a times table that has both 9 and 7 in. When this happens, it means that the fraction is already in its simplified form, the simplest form. Okay? So this one, we don't have to simplify it down because it's already in its simplified, most simple form. Okay, time for our worksheet then, which is your chance to have a go by yourself. Okay, so it's just the same as the guided practice, the same thing that we've been doing. You need to work out what number they have in common, okay? What is their lowest common multiple? And then simplify it down. Okay, so what can you divide both 22 and 10 by? What times table are they both in? And the second page, you need to circle the improper fractions that are in the simplest form. So which ones can be simplified down, and then you are matching the improper fractions with their simplest form. Pause the video here and check back for the answers. Okay then, 15 and 9, they are both in the 3 times table. 15 divided by 3 is 5, 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we get 5/3. 20 and 6. Let's see, they are both in the 2 times table. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we get 10/3. Okay, in this one we were seeing what times table are both 22 and 10 in? Well, they're both in the 2 times table. 22 divided by 2 is 11. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, so 22/10 becomes 11/5. 30 and 9, they're both in the 3 times table. 30 divided by 3 is 10. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 30/9 becomes 10/3. These ones that are circled could be simplified down. 12 and 5, they are both in the... Oh, sorry, they can't be simplified down. 12 and 5, there's not a times table that has them both in, so they're in their simplified form. 15 and 9, they're in the 3s, so they don't have to be circled. We've still got more to go to simplify them. 27 and 8, there isn't a times table with both of them in, so they are in their most simple form. Same with 15 and 4 and 22 and 7. So these 4 fractions are in their most simple forms. And here on the last question, we were matching up the improper fractions with their simplest form. 14/8 becomes 7/4. 26 sixths becomes 13/3. 18/10 becomes 9/5. 21/9 becomes 7/3. 30/4 becomes 15/2. And 22/12 becomes 11/6. Well done if you got any of those right. Simplifying fractions can be tricky. It's always good to follow our steps to success. We need to look for the lowest common multiple, which is the times table that both of the numbers go into, and then we need to divide both the top and bottom by that number. If you think that you have had enough of a challenge today for your maths lesson, you can end it here. If you would like a challenge, here it is. Can you convert these improper fractions into mixed numbers? Okay, the first one's done for you. So we can see here that we've got 7/3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're converting that back into the mixed number. So we have 2 whole ones and 1/3. Okay, so instead of 11/8 in this one, we have 1 whole and 3/8. Okay, so there are a few more of these down the page. That is your challenge, to convert these improper numbers into mixed numbers. Pause the video, check back for the answers. Okay, and here are our challenge answers in blue then. Well done if you got any of these right. And have a lovely rest of your day.